Welcome back to the Litchfield Media YouTube channel. I'm your host, Melissa Litchfield, ad agency owner and funnel strategist for digital course creators, online coaches, and small businesses. Today, we have a value-packed video where we're breaking down all of these softwares that I use in my agency this year, 2023. Okay, first up on the list is tried and true Acuity. I use this software to funnel leads to a discovery call. So that's how I used it first in the very beginning of my agency. As time went on, I have added several other additional appointment types or call types, I guess you could call them. I have one for an ad account audit, which is usually around 1 hour. I have one specific meeting or appointment type for guest speaking appearances in masterminds. Some of the people booking guest speaking with me are usually my clients and our other peers in the industry, where they want me to speak to their group of mastermind individuals and teach them on ads, funnels, etc. All right, so that was Acuity. I love Acuity for scheduling all of my meetings. It syncs to my Google Calendar. I can also add additional team members to my Google Calendar, and I can also accept payments through Acuity as well. So for instance, my 2-hour intensives, I have a payment processor, Stripe and PayPal set up to collect payments. So that way they don't have to go through Honeybook or another cart software that I have, which is ThriveCart. All right, and the second software that I use in my agency that I'm going to be breaking down today is Honeybook. Honeybook is a CRM, a customer relationship management system. This is where all of my leads are funneled into Honeybook, basically the CRM software. I can move each lead from inquiry to discovery call to proposal to invoice to contract, all the way to offboarding the client once our time or project is complete or over. Honeybook does have an integrated scheduler with it. Love that it's a feature already included. I think it's great for businesses just starting out. However, for me, I personally like to keep that separate, and the Honeybook scheduler is just not quite as advanced as Acuity. Other people love Calendly. I'm an Acuity girl. What can I say? Third software that I use in my business is the king of all automations and workflows, Zapier. Zapier is a software that actually connects other softwares together. So it's connecting them and allowing them to talk to each other. For instance, one of the Zaps that we use in the agency is actually a really long 12-step Zap. But once someone signs the contract in Honeybook, that then triggers a series of steps in a Zapier workflow that will create Google Drive folders and duplicate certain spreadsheets or documents and then renames it with my client's first and last name. Zapier is a game changer. So if you're looking to integrate several softwares or have several different softwares or even Google Drive talk to other softwares for that matter, it's an awesome tool and I highly recommend it. I pay around $24 a month, or if you commit to an annual price, it's a lot cheaper if you break it down by the 12-month period. That kind of ties into the next software that we use in our agency, which is Google Drive. We use Google Drive to house all of our client folders. We also use Google Drive to house internal Litchfield Media documents that we use internally for basically moving the client project along or planning out a campaign or breaking down a client's budget. Google Drive, I've been using this since the very beginning. It's free up until you max out the free storage space. I ultimately upgraded. I think Google Drive is an awesome tool to use internally and externally for your agency. Okay, our fifth software that we're going to talk about today is ClickUp. ClickUp is a project management software. I will admit I was using Asana prior to switching over to ClickUp. I was using the free plan with Asana. Loved Asana, used it at a previous agency before I opened up Litchfield Media. Now we have since moved over to ClickUp. I think it's been 2 years now. We actually hired a separate agency to do the transfer over. So basically they took everything that was in Asana, made it into kind of like a template, and then popped it into ClickUp. And with ClickUp, they have specific automations that you can create inside of tasks or documents that you create within ClickUp. So for instance, one of the automations that we actually use ClickUp internally for PTO requests, so paid time off requests. Once someone submits a PTO request inside of ClickUp, I then get a notification that it was assigned to me. So basically it automatically gets assigned to me no matter who submits the request, because I am the HR person right now. Let's just be real. We have not grown that huge yet to basically bring on a separate HR person. So all of those requests go straight to me. And then when I approve the PTO request, an automation then sends an email with all of that information that our team member filled out, specifically the dates or the day that they're going to be out. All of that information gets emailed to one team member from my CPA's team. So basically they get all that information and then they can take that information and plug it into Gusto and update, all those things in there. Okay, 6th software that I want to chat with you today about that we use on the daily inside of our agency here at Litchfield Media is called Slack. I think y'all probably are familiar with Slack, but it is an internal communication tool that we use with our team. You can set up channels where it could be dedicated to specific clients and or topics within your agency. For instance, some of the channels that we have on the Litchfield Media workspace are Team Wins, Team Fun. We have a general LM team channel, and then we have specific private ones as well. If my client doesn't have Slack and they prefer to chat or communicate that way, we'll add them to our Slack channel, but in a private channel. You can also DM your individual team members, and then if you upgrade to the Pro, you can send voice memos, screen recordings. They've really added in a lot more features now. It is a little pricey, in my opinion, in terms of, having the Pro account and having 10 plus members of your team on your team. It does get a little pricey. But for my clients that also use Slack, they basically, if you have the Pro version of Slack, it can integrate directly with your main Slack channel. So it's called like Slack Connect. And you can see all of your notifications, messages from your clients in one Slack channel if you choose. Hi, are you an agency owner brand new to the agency business model, looking to build some solid foundations for your new agency? Or maybe you are a solopreneur looking to scale and grow your done-for-you service provider business? Or maybe you don't even know where to start. I own a digital advertising agency called Litchfield Media, and I have helped several other agency owners grow and scale their agency this year in 2023. This is a different type of business model as opposed to a coaching business model. So you're in the right place if you're looking to grow and scale into an agency business model, or if you already have an agency and you're looking to start automating some administrative tasks or onboarding some new people. I have an awesome mini mastermind that you guys should check out. Check the link below in the description of this video. 7th software that I use in my agency is called Canva. I think we all are also familiar with Canva as well, but we use Canva for, not necessarily for ad graphics. Our designer uses Adobe and fancy softwares for that. But internally for social media, we use Canva to create carousel posts, PDFs for clients or our services. I have used Canva. Actually, I have to use it today to make a presentation on ad copy and AI. So I use Canva all the time in my business. It's mainly for marketing purposes and internal documents that I create. It's great for creating templates and then selling them too. So if you're in the digital product space, Canva templates are super, super hot, especially if you are a graphic designer or a social media agency. You could create social media post templates, or I've even seen reel templates. You can get really creative here. Some people have made an entire business model out of selling Canva templates. So amazing. I love Canva, and I love all the additional AI and additional features that they're adding into Canva over the years. So highly recommend. I do have a Pro account with Canva. All right, next up on our list is QuickBooks. I personally cannot tell you a whole lot about this, but my CPA's team does use QuickBooks. They reconcile the account for me. I do admit I used to do that myself in the very beginning of my business, and then they would handle payroll and taxes. But over, I want to say, pretty much at like the 1.5 to 2 year point, it was getting to be too much. And I was like, I can no longer do this. I need y'all to take over. So they've been handling QuickBooks since probably early 2024 for the agency. I will add a quick note that before I did move everything over to Honeybook, I was utilizing QuickBooks for their invoicing. So I got scrappy in the beginning, and I had a very lean business since it was like me and a very few team members. There's ways to utilize different softwares and make them work together. It may be a little bit more manual process on the front end when you're just starting your agency, but I think that's totally fine. I think that's worth the sacrifice. So that way, when you are generating more revenue for your agency, you can upgrade and give yourself a little boost in the type of automations and workflows that you can create with some of these more sophisticated softwares. Okay, our 9th software on the list is something that I use internally just for my own social media content, but it's called repurpose.io. It's an amazing software that will automatically repurpose your current content that you're already posting and push it to other sources or other platforms. So let me give you an example. And this one has nothing to do with social media content, but for every client Zoom meeting that I have, obviously is recorded and it gets sent to the cloud. I have set up a workflow within repurpose.io, and I'm able to basically push that recording into a Google Drive folder that's dedicated just for client Zoom recordings. So usually within 24 hours or the next day, my operations manager will take that recording, rename it, and move it into the corresponding client folder that it needs to be in. So that is just like one example of how I use it. Most of the other workflows that I have set up in repurpose.io are strictly for social media content, but it's amazing, especially for TikTok. You can set up a workflow that will remove the watermark and push the video recordings to a Google Drive folder, and it will house all of your TikTok videos in that Google Drive folder. If you wanted to manually post them and upload them with the correct audio on Instagram, it can automatically push your TikTok videos to like LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, etc., and it will remove the watermark. However, if you want like a specific trending audio to be attached to that, you'll have to add that manually, specifically for IG. But most of my videos that I do on TikTok are talking videos where it's just me talking and there's no music in the background. So that is considered original audio. And for that reason, I'm fine with TikTok pushing the Instagram videos, as original audio when it gets pushed over to Instagram. All right, the 10th software that I use in my agency is for my website. It's called Show It. I started on Squarespace originally, and even through the rebrand that we did for Litchfield Media, I was still contemplating okay, do I like Squarespace or not? For me, it really came down to, can I actually edit these dang pages myself? Because I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Not only do I have the agency, but I also have digital products and courses. So I wanted a software that was super easy to use, that was kind of like a drag and drop page builder. And in Squarespace, I just couldn't figure that out on how to do it myself. Basically, in order to create a landing page or a sales page, I can create a pretty simple, basic landing page in Squarespace, but a full-blown sales page, there was no way. I had to call my designer. I had to email her. I'm like, Deanna, can you please help me build out this? So in order to alleviate those additional expenses, honestly, sometimes it's much more easier and faster for myself to do it myself. Once I have the copy from our copywriting team, I can quickly build out the sales page in Show It. And I can also clone pages, and I can also save certain sections and reuse them in other landing pages or sales pages or website pages for that matter. So huge fan of Show It. It's pretty much like Canva, but for websites, if that makes sense. So if that pushes you over the edge, that's kind of what pushed me over the edge and pretty much what sealed the deal on Show It for me. Highly recommend Show It. All right, we are almost done. We have 2 more softwares to cover, but the 11th software is ThriveCard. ThriveCart is honestly, it's pretty good. They've had a couple, bugs, glitches this year, but I think they're improving the software. And as we all know, with improvements to software, sometimes there's bugs, sometimes there's glitches, sometimes softwares go down. Softwares are not perfect. So we keep that in mind, if you were ever frustrated with a software, and if that one time during the entire period of the year, the software tends to go down or happens to go down, just know that it happens. Sometimes you just have to accept it. And it's usually cheaper than switching platforms all the time. Okay, so ThriveCart, basically, let me tell you what ThriveCart is. ThriveCart is a cart/checkout software. So originally, before they added ThriveCart Learn, which we'll get to in a second, you could still do this. You can set up a cart or checkout page and basically collect payments from there, right? So say you're selling a digital product, it is $27, but you also want to add an order bump and an upsell. You can do that too within ThriveCart. You can do one-click upsells, so like they literally won't have to put in or enter in their credit card information again after they purchase the first initial product from you. With the one-click upsell, that alleviates the need for them to type in their payment information again. Basically, it creates like a frictionless process in order to check out. It also helps boost conversion. So highly recommend the one-click upsell. With ThriveCart, you can also now upgrade to ThriveCart Learn. I believe it's $250 for lifetime access. Really good deal, really good bargain. If you are interested in switching over to ThriveCart Learn, my agency can literally set up everything for you. We've created a team portal within ThriveCart Learn. So before we were using Kartra to kind of house all of our training videos for our ad managers, for our marketing assistant, now everything is housed in a team portal. It's called the Litchfield Media Team Portal. So whenever we get a new employee, we send them access via their email to the ThriveCart Learn portal. And that's where all of the training videos are housed. That's where we house all of our Lunch and Learn videos. There's a couple downfalls to ThriveCart, and let me just lay them out really quickly. So ThriveCart will not host your videos. You will need something like Google Drive, and you can pull the link to that specific video and add it into ThriveCart Learn. Or you can use something like Loom. So in my business, I was already using Loom and I was already paying for it. I pay like $5 a month, or it may be more than that now. But I basically just pull an embed code and then pop it into ThriveCart Learn. So that's what you use. It would totally work if you have Vimeo or Wistia, especially if you already pay for that service or software already. It's like, why not utilize that to your advantage? And then, if you do decide to ultimately make the switch to ThriveCart Learn, it's a one-time lifetime access fee. ThriveCart itself is around $650 to $700. Don't quote me on the exact amount, but it's around that price point, and it's a one-time payment. So you have lifetime access to the software. It's not a reoccurring monthly fee that you have to pay like most other cart softwares, aka SamCart. So highly recommend ThriveCart Learn. The hosting of the videos is one downfall, and I will say that at this moment, I don't believe they have the quiz feature live yet. The one other downfall is that if you have course students, they cannot obviously comment. So that's one downfall with ThriveCart Learn. You will not be able to see or post comments from your students because there is no capability for that to be done yet. Maybe that's a future feature, but as of right now, no one can comment on your course material or lessons or modules. I was using Kartra before. No one had ever commented on any lessons, so I felt like that wasn't a big deal breaker for me. So up to you. Up to you, but I think it's great for digital products. And you can even like redirect to a specific URL once they buy a particular product from you. So it's great for if you're in advertising like me, it's key to have that thank you page redirect after a product is purchased, so that way you can put the accurate conversion pixel tracking on the page. Last but not least, I think this is the 12th software in this lineup. Again, this was a meaty video, so I hope you're taking notes. But the last software that I use in my agency is an email marketing software called ActiveCampaign. Obviously, I have multiple different revenue streams in my business. It's not just the agency. I also have digital products and courses. So I utilize ActiveCampaign probably a little bit differently than the average user. Again, if you're just starting out in your agency, you probably don't need something this fancy or this robust, but I love ActiveCampaign. Most of my clients utilize it as well. They have lots of automations, integrations, workflows, etc. Anything that you could possibly think of doing with if and then type of actions. If this happens, then do this. You can do it with ActiveCampaign. No problem. So highly recommend ActiveCampaign if you're a course creator, if you're selling digital products, if you have evergreen webinar funnels, anything that is passive, I like ActiveCampaign the most for that specific industry. All right, that wraps up the 12 different softwares that I use in my agency, Litchfield Media. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you back for another video. Thanks so much.